I don't know. Something's got to give, right?
That's right.
That's okay. No, but really, John, it's been a pleasure so far, hosting with you and hosting this show, and I have to thank you for it. It's a new year. We've got a lot of great plans for our listeners. John and I have an amazing direction to bring some amazing people to you, so that you can share. We'll have our time, so it's never going to be lost with everybody else. And I just want to take this moment and really thank my co-host John for being my co-host, and coming so far. We've had some topsy-turvies and some roller coasters and some technical issues, obviously getting started. This is definitely, we're not experts in this industry, but we wanted to bring you something that was a little bit different, and bring you some of the things that we've learned from just everyday life, just basic stuff, like pull back the veil, no bullshit, no screening, no preparation. Let's just talk and have a conversation. Mondays are usually hard for most people. So you know what, kick back and, let's just chill out. And that's where Empowering Your Future really came from. So we're half a year in, and just want to say congratulations and thank you to all of our listeners for your support and your guidance. And thank you, John.
You're welcome, Jen. I wouldn't have picked you if I didn't know you're like an amazing person, because I am grateful for, we really complement each other. And I'm just telling the listeners out there, if it wasn't for you, a lot of things that you're capable of doing. And I'm grateful for that, because that's, some of my weaknesses, your strong point. And I know that in the near future, maybe this year, that, maybe, we're going to have our own show for maybe a talk show host, maybe a movie. That's something I'm kind of like releasing out there.
Man, I hope some acting classes goes with that, because I only wing it. Don't ask me to memorize a script for the life of me, because that's the only problem I have, is I can't remember from one thing to another half the time. So memorizing, no, I gotta go with my intuition. I gotta go with the flow. I gotta be in the flow. And reading something that's pre-prepared is not being in the flow. And I know it's good to be prepared. Don't get me wrong, people. That's not what I'm saying. Having point form notes so you can remember some of your topics is one thing, but damn, that just kind of scared me. I got to tell you. Like,
that's what makes us. That's what makes you and I unique. Because the feedback that I get from friends and our people from Facebook and our listeners, people we interview, they love it, and it's something that makes us different. And that's why it's like talking about long term, just putting it out there. I know we're gonna get something, either talk show host or our own show, about. And it happens all the time.
Well, we already have our own show, so you want to kind of describe that a little bit more to our listeners and myself? Right?
Well, you know what? I'm friends with a couple of people that started, like how we started, and next thing you know, they've got their own winery show that they got sponsored by the TV.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean, my actual, real, job that I really want, like, imagine you and me, like, traveling around the world or in the U.S., interviewing, like, people that can really empower us. Right?
That's not what I heard. Oh, my God. Oh, you said traveling, right? Okay.
Traveling.
Okay, awesome. No, it's okay. It chipped out and I just didn't quite catch... I didn't catch the traveling part. I heard something else.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You're thinking of something else, but I'm thinking about it.
It's not dirty. I swear.
It's dirty. It's okay. I like it.
I know. You would never deny that. It's okay.
That makes us human. That's what makes us human.
Right? Hey, men are men and women are women.
No, and that'd be a great dream job, like we traveling around.
Absolutely.
Mexico, we're interviewing some, from people from the self-help industry, from coaching. We'd be like, hey, what do you think of this? What can you share with our listeners? That'd be the ultimate, like, dream job, like going to Bali, Thailand, and anywhere around the world and getting paid for it. That'd be amazing. right? And I've seen people do it and starting out like we did before.
Well, absolutely. Isn't that, we just had a couple of weeks ago, actually, not too long ago, we had Raji on. Isn't that somewhat of how Collective Evolution does their thing too through media?
Yes, absolutely. They went, I think, to Costa Rica or somewhere, and with a whole group, and
Yeah.
it was amazing. But with me, I can see it like having an actual, empowering your future. Jen and John would be like, yeah, we're at the beach. We're gonna interview you.
I am open to whatever the universe has in store for me.
That's right.
We all have a journey, we all have a purpose, and we all have lessons that we need to learn regardless of what that looks like. So you know what? Universe, I am completely open and free.
I am too. I am so open. But so I'm glad that we just want to share with our listeners that what could possibly, anything's possible, right? Put your mind and your focus into it. That's great, and work hard for it. There you go.
And I just want to tell our listeners, you guys, I don't know, are you guys shy or something? Because we can see how many listeners we have, right? And we do have quite a lot of listeners. And we notice that a lot of people like to message us privately. And I just want to let you guys know, I respect your confidentiality. I will not divulge anything that you say between us or anything. If you want to keep it private, you definitely can. But I just want to let you guys know that, you guys can interact on the Facebook group. It is a private group it is a private group for us, So you can definitely be open and talk in there. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or anything. But again, if you continue and you prefer contacting us privately, you're definitely, that's not a problem, and your confidentiality will be kept at the same time.
Absolutely, that's perfect. That's amazing. We have all respect for anyone that wants confidentiality. So one of the topics I wanted to talk to you about is recently I've been getting a lot of. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times that, as you know, Jen, that I'm very passionate about not just in financial but also actually insurance too, right? So life insurance, group insurance, critical insurance, and recently I've met quite a number. One of my building and was denied of accidental sickness. That's why I keep telling my personal trainer friends, yoga instructor friends, that have something that will cover you, accidents or injury, because I've known quite a number of personal trainers that are so buffed up, they're so big, and they pull a muscle and they could never work again.
Okay, so it's not just personal trainers. I just want to let people know that John can cater to entrepreneurs, small business owners, sole proprietorships, anybody that has their own business, no matter which way you want to entail it, how small or how big. Everybody requires insurance. And when you're working for yourself, it's not the same as being in corporate where they take care of it for you.
Absolutely. And that's, I'm so glad you clarified that, because, I've gone to several events and info sessions that we do with my advisors, that we educate some of these newcomers from all walks of life, from people who's been here 30, 40 years, want to know about insurance from practically every walk of life in agriculture. And I love educating people because, number one is I believe in so much in protection, and I have had like 3 family members that passed away that didn't have insurance. So that's why for me it's a passion. It's very critical that all my cousins and family members that they get educated, that they know about it. And just recently I've had a yoga instructor had a hip replacement.
Oh wow!
Right? And so a lot of people think that yoga, it's so flexible, nothing can happen to you. But it's been on. Actually, our former guest Raji was actually that let me know the other day that on CTV that her mom was watching it, that how the injuries of yoga instructors that happens over the years. So this one person that I know had a hip replacement after about 25 years of doing yoga and Pilates. And a lot of people will think, oh, it's safe, but as you get older, your body changes, right? And it's not as strong as before, regardless how much working out or nutrition. It's different. You feel your age sometimes. But what I tell people is good to be safe and have some kind of protection. And I was telling people, I said, what happens if this is your living, that you're making as a living, you have to make sure that because you're self-employed, that you have something that will replace your income. Because if you have a family and you can't work, it really puts a burden on your family, and it's really tough, because I meet people that are like that, especially some of my friends that from all walks of life, from small business owners to big business owners, and they got hurt, and some of their group insurance did not cover them, right? Because what happens is, once you leave the vicinity, or depending on your insurance, once you leave your workplace, you're not covered anymore if you get hurt. So that's why I said, have something with accident and injury, because, if you're a yoga instructor, you're self-employed, you're not invincible, right? Like, if you're outside the studio, you get hurt, you're not going to be covered. And I have 3 yoga instructors that had a torn ligament, one had a hip replacement, and one, their arm, was in an accident. They can't use the arm anymore. Most of them, they'll do like a handstand. They're not as flexible. They're so limited to what they can do. But what I tell people is, just be prepared for the unexpected. Have something that can cover you and help you out, because you never know if it's your 1 minute you're healthy, 1 minute you're in a car accident. But it happens every day, right? So in terms of that, I'm really concerned with some of my friends that are, everyone actually, that in my circle of friends, that I tell them all the time, regardless if they say, oh, it's your insurance thing again. No, but some of them, they've gone back with me and say, I should have had it. And I posted something on my Facebook today about a family that, her husband passed away, and this was in Calgary recently, and he was delaying about the life insurance, and he passed away. He into an accident. So, and that's just me. Just one thing, because the reason I'm kind of sharing with everyone is because I've been meeting quite a number of people, self-employed, yoga instructors to personal trainers, that gotten hurt. So that's why I post things up and I tell people. So if you have any questions, call me. Let me know. Send me a message on Facebook. I'll educate you in your community and your group. It's only like half an hour to an hour info session. So that's why I'm a little more passionate about that, because you better be prepared for the unexpected, right? So I just figured we share that with our listeners, because we're not just about really empowering you that nothing wrong is going to happen, or some of the challenges, but you don't want to be. You want to make sure that you have something for while you're living. If you have a family, or even if you're a replacement for your salary, right? So that's why.
Listen, at the end of the day, just be prepared, because you never know what life can throw at you. I mean, I can tell you honestly, even based on my story, when I look at it, so long ago, I mean, now it's starting to feel like it's so long ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It feels like yesterday, but then we're a year further, so it's like, wait a minute, hold on, how is it?
Well, I know.
When I had to go into bed rest when I was pregnant with my son, and I couldn't work or anything, and I couldn't collect unemployment or anything like that, I had insurance with the company I was with. But even at that, it didn't help me or protect me in any which way. And that's what basically started the whirlwind of my experiences. I'm stuck on bed rest, medical condition that can kill me and kill my unborn child. And what are you supposed to do in a situation? And you're responsible for older kids and a household and everything else. And your hands are tied because your life is also at stake, And,
absolutely.
It's a hard thing regardless of which way you look at it. But you see, insurance would have covered all those things. I would have been okay if I had the proper insurance. So, and I'm just using my story because my issue wasn't insurance at the time, but it wasn't covered by the corporate insurance. But this is where, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody who's on this side, you're able to choose. When you're working with corporate, they just give you options of packages. Now you're in a position where you might pay for it, but at the end of the day, you're paying for exactly what you need and what's required. And make sure that you're covered on all aspects.
Absolutely right. And you know, and I
like
hear this at least.
unemployment is being covered now for entrepreneurs